Today, the Blue Earth County Sheriff's Office announced the recovery of an 8-year-old drowning victim. Willow Bentz was swimming with her family in the Minnesota River near Mankato when she found herself struggling in deep water. The 8-year-old wasn't wearing a life jacket. Willow's mother, Kelly Nielsen, tried to save her but was swept away by the river. Search and rescue efforts were initiated and Willow's body was recovered this morning. Here's Captain Paul Barta with more details.
Last night at about 6:03 p.m., so just after 6 p.m., Blue Earth County Dispatch received a 911 call. The caller had said that the child was missing and may have drowned. So immediately resources were sent in that direction to the Sibley Park area. And if you're not familiar with Sibley Park, it's pretty close to where we're at. It has both the Blue Earth River and the Minnesota River that run alongside or next to it. And the specific area we were working on was on the Minnesota River. Those of you that are local, Kiwanis Lights, that Sibley Parkway Road that goes on the backside by the Sledding Hill and Ball Diamonds, that's kind of the general area we're working at. So this call comes in. It took about 2 minutes is all before emergency personnel were on site and trying to do what they could to assist, get last known location and all of the things that we need to have when an event like this happens. So the response time was incredible. Had people on scene really almost immediately after that 911 call came in. So the events that we were able to determine what happened was we had a mother and a father, 4 children that had been in the area or in that park about a week before. They had a good time. They did some wading and exploring in the area and came back then about a week later last night to try to do a little bit more. Kids wanted to swim and enjoy the water, so that's what they were doing. So mom, dad, 4 children. The ages of the kids were 3, 8, 9, and 11. And they ended up playing in an area, and we'll point out on the map here. Here's Sibley Parkway that I described, and on the other side here. Where it comes in by the Ball Diamonds are right here. You can see those circles. The roadway comes in pretty close, and there's a sandbar that you can't really see on this image that's right about in this area here. If you go down there later, I'm welcome to show people where everything started. There's a sandbar right there that you'll be able to see, and that's where everybody was playing. And the family was enjoying the water and doing that sort of stuff. So initially the kids were wearing life jackets, and we found out that because they had started to spend more time on the sandbar, the kids took the life jackets off. It sounds like they started to go back in the water though, and started jumping off of the sandbar and started to experience some deeper water than they anticipated. So unfortunately, the kids got into some troubles when this happened. There was a bystander that was nearby that was kind of watching the events unfold, and as 2 of the kids started to struggle, the bystander was able to get in there, grab onto one of the children, and bring that child to safety. But unfortunately, 8-year-old girl named Willow Bentz was not able to be grabbed onto and saved, and she went underwater, and that's what generated the 911 call. So as things started to play out, we had the bystander that was trying to help rescue the kids. Mom and dad, of course, were nearby, knew what was happening. Mom actually ended up going in the water to try to also help, and ended up getting swept a pretty good distance down. If you go out there and you look, it's relatively calm water on this park side of the river. But as you get about that midway area, you can see that the current actually picks up. And the mom, like I said, when the initial officers got on scene, had been swept quite a ways down the river. So 8-year-old Willow, that's Willow Ray Bentz. Her parents are Kelly Nielsen, who's 31 years old, and John Stephen Bentz, 52-year-old, and they're both the families from rural Janesville. I want to talk a little bit about the assisting agencies that were with us last night and into today. What happened was we continued our efforts all night. So we scaled back some of the search operations at dark. It gets a lot more challenging. There are other risk factors that are associated with working the water at night with some of the techniques that we're using, but we did continue the search efforts all night. This morning we then stepped up the resources and had additional boats come back out, And at about 8:40 this morning, we received notice that one of our assisting agencies, specifically Cleveland Fire Department, who had a boat out with us, did locate Willow on a sandbar, and she was deceased and ended up right about in this area right here. So some distance from the initial search area, but that's where Willow was recovered. And the investigation is going to continue. We will have the Ramsey County Medical Examiner Office involved with us, and continue with statements and trying to learn as much as we can about the events leading up to Willow going into the water and what ultimately happened.
Captain Barta says that it's always a good idea to wear a life jacket when you're swimming.
Keep watching CBS News Minnesota for continuing coverage.